It's just so great. This is why it's so nice to not have makeup.
Meghan Markle's big comeback? Yeah, it just crash landed. And guess who hit the eject button? None other than Tom Cruise himself.
Fantastic. I hope he never stops.
It all went down on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, the perfect stage for a little Hollywood fireworks. Meghan had just dropped her shiny new podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, probably hoping the usual celeb crowd would rally behind it like the next big thing. You know, some star power, a buzz or two, maybe applause from the Hollywood elite.
It was special.
Really, I've seen stuff like that on television before, and to be part of it was really special.
It's cool, right?
It's beyond cool.
Yeah. Thank you for being back here.
But then enter Tom Cruise, aka Mr. Mission Impossible himself, strolling in and dropping one joke that basically detonated the whole vibe. Looking Colbert dead in the eye with that trademark Cruise smirk, he said, "I tried listening to Confessions of a Female Founder, but I had to pull the eject lever faster than in Top Gun. The crowd lost it. Laughter exploded like a sonic boom. Colbert was cracking up, barely able to keep a straight face. Meghan? You can bet she was clutching her green juice so tight the bottle almost cracked. But Tom didn't stop there. Full method actor mode. He pantomimed yanking an eject cord, like escaping Meghan's podcast was an emergency bailout from a flaming fighter jet. The tension in the studio thickened, the audience soaking in that perfectly executed bit of shade. Then Colbert, never one to miss a chance, added his own jab. Something about the Duchess wishing she hadn't worked so hard while talking about adversity from her Montecito mansion. Ouch, that wasn't just a roast. It was a triple-layered, extra crispy takedown served with a side of cold truth. The kind of moment everyone replayed online whispering, "Did he really just say that?" Because, yeah, Tom Cruise didn't just poke fun. He punctured the whole glossy illusion in one unforgettable moment.
A show where I chat with female entrepreneurs and friends about the sleepless nights, the lessons learned, and the laser focus.
Here's the kicker. Meghan really thought this podcast was going to be her glow-up moment, her grand rebirth. Oprah 2.0 era vibes. Soft power queen in full effect, sipping matcha in a sunbeam, casually dismantling the patriarchy, one inspirational quote at a time. But nope. Instead, Confessions of a Female Founder spread across the internet like that one cringy group chat meme you reluctantly share but secretly regret. Over-edited, trying way too hard, somehow painfully extra and surprisingly empty at once. Look, the idea wasn't terrible. A platform where women could share real struggles building empires, chasing dreams, breaking glass ceilings. That could have been raw, empowering, even necessary. Real talk, unfiltered stories. Exactly what people want.
To prove something, to prove that you're enough, you have to prove that you're pretty enough, you have to prove that you're smart enough, you prove that you're a good wife or a good friend, and I was like, I am just so done with the prove it game.
But what did we actually get? Meghan channeled her inner TED Talk speaker in yoga voice for a full hour. An endless stream of soft-spoken reflections about how hard it is to be misunderstood while wrapped in cashmere, casually cradling a mug, screaming CEO vibes. You know the type. She hit us with phrases like finding your inner peace, rising above the noise, and embracing your feminine power, all while sitting amid floral arrangements probably worth more than most people's monthly rent. It wasn't gritty or real. Less founder on the grind, more Pinterest fairy tale. You'd stop and wonder, has she ever actually sat in a boardroom? Or is this all just vibes, curated Instagram aesthetics, and a highlight reel of well-chosen quotes? The whole thing felt built on pretty pictures and buzzwords, not the raw, messy truth of building something from the ground up, and those emotional monologues, you know, the kind where her voice quivers just enough to sound vulnerable, they felt rehearsed. Like she'd run them through a secret backstage session with the lighting and sound crew. Not raw, not spontaneous. Carefully directed, more Netflix drama than genuine moment.
Manufacturing, we had a feeling that it would have some buzz surrounding it.
Critics? They weren't having it. One called the podcast psychopathic and stomach-turning, aka. I tried to listen but wanted to gag halfway. Another said it felt like a duchess cosplaying as a tech founder. Oof. Then NPR dropped. The ultimate subtweet disguised as a review, emotionally manipulative and narratively hollow. Basically, a gorgeously wrapped gift box full of packing peanuts. Looks great, but zero substance inside. That's the real issue. All surface-level style, no soul. An hour of supposed vulnerability that somehow leaves you knowing less about Meghan than when you started. Her glow-up moment? Starting to feel less like a bright spotlight, more like a blackout. Even the numbers were unimpressed. Sure, the podcast hit Spotify's top 10 for a hot second, mostly out of curiosity or because people wanted to see the fuss. But outside the US and Canada, total crickets. People tuned in once, then bounced faster than you can say subscribe. Turns. Outperformative vulnerability isn't binge-worthy content. Sources say Meghan didn't just roll her eyes and move on. Nope. Full PR panic mode. Pacing the Montecito estate like a duchess in distress, clutching her phone demanding answers, probably stress-eating organic almonds. Her team scrambled, firing off statements to friendly outlets, insisting the podcast was misunderstood, trailblazing, boldly redefining modern storytelling, fancy words to cover losing the room. Because honestly, no one was buying it. The damage was done. Meghan's polished little audio empire just got publicly dunked on by one of Hollywood's biggest stars. And the clip? Viral. Fast. But wait. Let's talk about Tom Cruise, the man, myth, action hero who's been defying gravity and expectations for decades. What's the deal with his personality? Beyond the iconic smirk and crazy stunts, Tom's intensely dedicated, next-level committed. While some actors phone it in, Tom's the guy doing his own insane stunts, jumping off planes, dangling from skyscrapers, racing motorcycles. A perfectionist through and through. Stories of stubbornness? Yep. Known for pushing hard on set. Script, direction, scene intensity. Hands-on, sometimes controlling, but all because he's obsessed with quality and the best movie possible. Underneath all that is a wild cocktail of charm and intensity. Warm and genuine in interviews, yet enigmatic and mysterious. That charisma made him a box office powerhouse. And yes, his Scientology ties add a layer of mystique and controversy, showing he commits deeply to what he believes in, for better or worse. So when Tom laughs at a podcast, a troop of fans follows suit. And the fallout? Real. Tom's joke flung open floodgates. Suddenly, people who'd been side-eyeing the founder-activist Duchess Miranur act finally said what they'd held back. This brand? Tired. The persona? Overproduced. The podcast? Not giving what it thinks it's giving. Because when even Tom Cruise, who's not known for pop culture snark, jumps in the roast, you know the tides are turning. And Meghan, left standing in the storm, trying to control the narrative with the same old tricks. But here's the problem. When your image cracks, no amount of PR polish can glue it back together, and then silence. Not just any silence, strategic silence, the kind that screams louder than any press release. Meghan's usual ride or dies, nowhere to be found. Oprah, the one who gave her the interview of the decade, not a word. Tyler Perry, who literally gave Meghan and Harry a mansion, ghosted Beyoncé's team, politely declined upcoming collabs, no Ivy Park X archetypes in sight. And Ellen unfollowed her on Instagram. Let that sink in. Ellen, queen of be kind energy. If Ellen taps unfollow, Hollywood's basically saying, we're good. Even feminist media outlets that once hailed Meghan as a symbol of empowerment started side-eyeing. Bustle, quiet. The cut, diplomatic at best. Teen Vogue, suddenly obsessed with Gen Z activists who don't own $14 million mansions. But the dagger came from NPR. They didn't just throw shade, they launched it. If Meghan is a female founder, then I'm a female astronaut. No fluff, no filter. Just vibes and violence. At that point, the message was crystal clear. The media's not circling the wagons anymore. The protective glow had dimmed. Meghan? standing under a spotlight waiting for applause that never came. This wasn't a PR hiccup. It was the spell breaking. The curtain dropped, and the carefully crafted Meghan Markle mystique cracked wide open. And the wildest part? It wasn't a royal scandal or a tabloid exposé. It was Tom freaking Cruise, Hollywood's ultimate action hero, delivering the kill shot. 15 seconds, one perfectly timed joke, boom. The polished, curated, painfully manicured Meghan Markle image started unraveling right before our eyes because what Tom did, whether intentional or not, was rip the curtain wide open. He showed everyone what many thought but didn't say. Meghan's media empire? All flash, zero weight, branding, buzzwords, million-dollar Spotify deals, but where's the depth, the grit, the real talk? She wants to be seen as a leader, a trailblazer, a changemaker. But here's the catch. She's allergic to criticism, even the slightest pushback. Deflection, curated vulnerability, rambling feel-good interviews about her truth, all while preaching hardship from a mansion in Montecito. Remember, she left the royal family to escape the spotlight, to find her voice. But lately, that voice feels stuck on a never-ending loop. An expensive, high-production value loop where the mic costs more than rent and every sentence drips self-importance. At some point, that story stopped inspiring. It started exhausting, like being trapped with someone who won't stop talking about how hard their life is while you're counting down the minutes to escape. Now the fallout's hitting hard. Netflix, the last big player still swimming in Meghan and Harry's pond, is reportedly giving their Archwell contracts serious side-eye. You know the kind of meetings where the room goes quiet, lawyers pull out fine print like ancient scrolls. Yeah, those streaming giants like Netflix aren't sentimental. They're sharks with dollar signs in their eyes. If your brand smells more like a liability than an asset, they bail faster than you can say limited series. Remember Spotify? That ship didn't just sail, it went up in flames, waving goodbye on the horizon.